Hi, and welcome to the casting couch. But today we move to the garage because many people have requested that I don't only sit in the casting couch, I actually do something. So here we have a block of a 605, but it's bored to 89mm. Standard bore is 87, so this is a little bit bigger. And we're also gonna put a 2.9-liter crank in it from a 602. So we're gonna make the infamous Stroker 605, the hybrid of different Mercedes parts that together makes a 2.9-liter 605. So I'm gonna keep assembling some rods and pistons here. I gapped all the rings and so on, and it's not so interesting to see, but we're gonna see where we end up. All right. So assembly lube, that is very, very good. At least that's what my wife says. So without assembly lube, the engine will not be able to sit for a longer period of time, and if you have low oil pressure when you start your engine, it will be quite disastrous. So that's why we use it. So let's see if we can assemble this in some kind of way. Oh, assembly lube, it gets a little bit slippery. Oh, that feeling is incredible. So you might have noticed I have a 1 here, and that is because all the rods are weighed and all the pistons are weighed, so that's why this has some grinding going on here. Because all pistons has to be within 1 gram from the heaviest to the lightest, and it doesn't really matter if you have a 4-cylinder or a W16, it just has to be within 1 gram. The rods, stupid people, they think that you take your rod and you weigh it like this. And that is not how you do it. You have to weigh the big end and the small end, because that is the only way of balancing your rods. So the small ends and the big ends within 1 gram. Alright, that is very good. We have 1 here, and we need to put some pin into that, but I'm going to do that later because it is more fun to do this. So I'm going to keep grinding away and see where we end up. Now I'm going to put the pistons in the block. As you see, the rods are on the pistons, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Piston ring compressor, hammer, rubber, piston. Easy. Like that. And I have my friend here at the side, so that's nice. But yeah, we're gonna crack on with the rest and maybe speed up the video a little bit so you don't get bored. Alright, so 5 pistons in, and now we're going to mount some oil squirters because now we can line those up, and then it's crank. Perfect. Alright guys, so 2.9-liter crank in a 605, and we're going to put this together. The rods and pistons are in because, of course, the oil squirters that were not in the block. And you have to line the oil squirters up, right? We're going to tighten everything down, and yeah, we'll see if we can have this bad boy together by the end of this year. Thanks! So today we're going to do the head for the 2.9-liter Stroker 605. It's a fantastic engine and an engine that I really love. I'm going to take you through the building of the head. We have already done the valves and stuff like that and skimming the head, so we're just putting this together. We have some valve springs, lifters, pre-chambers, valve stem seals, camshafts, etc. So I hope that this will be informative and that you will like what you see. I'll get on it. Right. So here I have my trusty little tool. It's a 12-point socket and a small extensioner, and that is what I'm going to use to put the valve stem seals in. And this is an easy procedure of just checking what socket that fits on top of your valve stem seals, and then you just knock them in and everything is fine. So that's what we're going to do. So, as you've seen, I've changed shirt and I burned my hand. We had to leave yesterday for an emergency, and I did only this intake side, and I'm going to do the exhaust side now with the little valve stem seals. I have my trusted little tool here. It's just a 12-point socket, nothing special, but it fits perfectly over the valve stem seal. So you don't hit the rubber part, you only hit the shoulder on it. So I'm going to install this, and yeah, we're going to go from there. So persuasion tool, 12-point socket, and a valve stem seal. That's usually a very good combination. And you hear that noise when it changes from tung 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 to ding ding ding. That's when they're seated. So that is what we're looking for here. That change of noise. That is super important. All right, last one. So that's it. Now we're gonna put some valves in, and that's fun. We like that, but we have some washers on the intake side here, so I'm not gonna flip the head around. I'm gonna install them from the underside, and we hope that works very, very good for us. Right? Just like that. Bam! Incredible. Technologia. I don't know what to say in this. Funny reels on YouTube, but boom! Oh, I'm hitting the cameraman. That is always appreciated. Okay, so last cylinder. It just gets harder and harder to lift it. That is awesome. Like that. Boom. So next step is springs. And the springs look like this. So we have the washers in the bottom here. A steel washer, that's the original washer. Otherwise the spring will sit in aluminum and that is not working. And we put the valve spring on and a retainer. Bam, like that. And then we're gonna see if we can get these springs fitted. And the last two. Awesome. Boom. Now we're going to use the spring compressor, and we are using this model because this is the best. It's just how it is. And to use that we have a little piece of steel here with 2 bolts that we bolt down like this in the head, and like that, and then we can use this one. Alright, so we're going to put some valve springs in here, and it is a little bit of a pain to do that, and it takes some time, so we're probably going to time lapse this for you, because otherwise you will be super bored. But this is how it looks and works. It is probably the most fiddly little job in the world, and that's why we love it, because we're testing our patience. Some people, they don't have patience, so they can't do this. Me, I have the greatest patience in the world. I have a black belt in waiting. There's nothing that can set me off. Never. We see you when we come to this end here. Yeah, the last one. Incredible. But here they are. We only have 4 left, and it's going super smooth. I thought I was gonna show you what can happen if you're unlucky. So I managed to do this on the last one here. I think that's very good. So we have one that is stuck lower than it should be. And that is not good. But it will be okay. Because it's always okay. This is incredible. The struggle is real. I think I have to take the magnet on this one. So, patience. That is what we need in this game. Some patience, and especially on camera. I think that's fun. Like that. So, that, my friends, is all. And this is how the cookie crumbles. So we have valve stem seals, valves, washers, springs, retainers, whatever. So this head is more or less ready. We have some pre-chambers to do, but other than that, we are done. The pre-chambers on this engine is, yeah, they're a little bit dirty now, dusty, but they are welded, so the pre-chamber ball is welded in place instead of buying other kind of pre-chamber balls. If they ain't broken, why fix them, right? And the original ones has been there forever. They are of highest quality, and we have no intention of running wrong timing here and burn all the fuel inside the pre-chamber. So the pre-chambers are very easy. You just put them in like this, and then you tighten the nut. That is pretty much what it is. They can only go in one way because they have a tab on them. And yeah, just bang them in and put the nut on. And the nut is, this is unfortunately not clean, so I'm not going to put this in now. But this is how they look. They're splined inside and threaded on the outside. And they just fit perfectly on top here. So that is what we're going to do. And I say goodbye and see you when we are ready to